Hey there, Cancer and Cancer Risings, and welcome. If you've been feeling like a big shift is in the air, you are absolutely on the money. We're about to break down your forecast for April 2026, and let me tell you, it promises to be a major turning point, especially in your professional life. So let's dive in and look at the cosmic currents that are going to define your month.
And I'm not just hyping it up. Astrologer Joseph P. Anthony, whose work we're exploring today, calls this a very important month. And for a really good reason. There's this massive amount of energy building up, and it is all pointing in one specific direction. Okay, just a quick but super important note here. This is a general reading for your sun sign. It's designed to be about 70 to 75% accurate for most of you Cancers out there. But for that full, high definition picture, you always want to look at your personal birth chart. All right, with that said, let's get into the good stuff. So before we get to all the career fireworks, April actually starts on a much more personal, much more reflective note. The month really kicks off by putting a powerful spotlight on your inner world and your personal foundations. And this is all thanks to a full moon. You can think of a full moon as sort of a celestial floodlight, right? It just illuminates things that have been hiding in the shadows, bringing events to a head, and making you suddenly aware of what needs to change, or maybe what needs to be let go. And for you, this full moon lands right in your fourth house of home and family. So what's crucial here is that your focus is going to be on your home environment, your emotional state, and all those core family dynamics. This could totally mean a relationship, whether it's business or personal, is up for reevaluation. You might just have a moment where you realize something isn't working. This could even trigger a big decision about moving, remodeling, or making some other major change to your living situation. All right, so once those personal matters are brought into the light, the whole energy of the month takes a really sharp turn. So get ready, because from that second week on, the focus shifts, and I mean dramatically, to your career, your ambition, and your public life. So, the shift kicks off when Mars, the planet of pure action, moves out of that gentle, go-with-the-flow Pisces and, bam, into fiery, get-it-done Aries. The energy goes from, hey, let's all be friends, to I am here to win. It's a complete 180. And get this, Mars is not showing up to this party alone. As you can see here, it's pretty much a cosmic pileup. First Mars, then you've got Mercury, the planet of communication, and finally a really powerful new moon all stacking up in the sign of Aries. So where is all this happening? Well, it's in a very specific and very important part of your chart. And that area is your 10th house. This is the highest, most public point in your entire chart. It's all about your career, your reputation, your status, your ultimate sense of purpose in the world. So yeah, all of that fiery Aries energy is being aimed like a laser beam right at your professional life. Okay, so what does this actually feel like? In a word, intense. Yeah. Expect a fast and furious kind of pace. Your mind is going to feel totally supercharged, but you could also feel restless, a little feisty, maybe even confrontational. There's just this overwhelming need to accomplish things, like now. And hey, a little practical advice from our source here. With all this Mars-driven speed, be extra mindful when you're driving. Seriously. Now, the peak of all this energy comes with the new moon in Aries later in the month. This is your absolute green light. It is a fantastic, astrologically supported time to take a risk. If you've been thinking about starting a business, or asking for that promotion, or launching a major project, well, the universe is giving you a massive cosmic push. But just as quickly as that fire ignites, the energy starts to shift and evolve as we head into the last third of the month. It doesn't just disappear, but it becomes more internal, more future-focused. Let's see how this new energy starts to build. So first up, the sun moves into Taurus, and that's going to light up your 11th house. Your attention will naturally start to pivot from that raw, in-the-moment career ambition to your long-term hopes and dreams. It's a time for planning, for connecting with friends and your wider community, and really thinking about where you want to go next. And then, shortly after that, Venus, the planet of relationships and values, it slips into Gemini and right into your 12th house. Now, this is a much more private energy. You might find yourself thinking about relationships from the past, or feeling really drawn to creative work that you do in solitude, away from the public eye. And that 12th house placement is so key because it's the most hidden, spiritual, and subconscious part of your entire chart. It's where your intuition lives. And this part of your life is about to get a major long-term activation. Why? Because at the end of the month, Uranus, the planet of sudden change and brilliant ideas, moves into this part of your chart, and it stays there for 7 years. This isn't just a fleeting transit. This is the start of a long evolutionary journey. So, over this new 7-year cycle, you can expect what our source calls superpowers when it comes to your intuition. Seriously, your spidey senses are going to be off the charts. You'll get these brilliant ideas that seem to come from absolutely nowhere, and you might even receive some really profound spiritual messages. It's going to be an incredibly creative period, but the key will be to channel all that mental energy productively so it doesn't tip over into worry or anxiety.
Whew, so that was a lot of movement, a lot of different energies, right? Let's boil it all down into a clear, actionable summary so you know exactly what to focus on as you move through April 2026.
All right, here are the crucial points. Early in the month, deal with matters at home. Then, mid-month, it is all about career. Use that fiery energy to make some bold moves. And throughout that really intense period, just be mindful of your speed and your temper. Then in late April, shift your focus to planning for the future and tapping into that quieter, more creative side. And really, above all else, start listening very, very closely to that inner voice. April 2026 is totally setting the stage for major action in your career and a profound awakening of your intuition. It's a month of endings, of powerful new beginnings, and of some really long-term changes. So the only question left is this: with all this cosmic wind at your back, what new chapter are you ready to write?